Hello. So, today I want to talk about exercise, working out, and not just working out, but working out from a place of love. Hello. Part of the reason, I got this question in my DMs today. I'm trying to work out. I want it to be from a place of love. I want to be healthy, but I also really want to be thin. And I know that that's not the right mindset. So, what do I do? And doing it from a place of love, doing it just because I care about my health is not really motivating me right now. So, what am I supposed to do? Valid question. Hi. So, what I want to talk about, I was just kind of doing this rant in front of my mom. So, maybe that's why I felt motivated to come do it here. When it comes to exercise, I feel as though many of us only know how to be motivated from a place of fear and self-loathing. The only time we really exercise, or maybe in the past, the only times that we have exercised, is because we don't like what we look like and that motivation that we want to be thin. And that's what drives us. And so now we're saying, I want to be coming from a healthier place. I don't want the motivation to be what I look like, but I can't get that thought out of my head. Here's what I think. Rather than wait until that thought doesn't enter your mind, you want to start working out anyway. Even if part of your motivation, because you just can't get rid of it, is because you want your body to be different. Because the truth is, that thought is not, I can't guarantee that thought's going to go anywhere in the long run. But what I can promise is that if you keep showing up to work out and you keep reminding yourself that this is good for your body, for your health, for your mental health, for your brain, for your whole system, that this is really good for your health, it's not that other thoughts won't come in. It's not that you're not going to be distracted by what you look like in the mirror. It's not that you're going to show up out of health and that you're never going to think at all about getting thinner or tighter or whatever it is that your ego really wants to hold on to. That's okay. You just want to be able to show up, observe it, and then say, I know that we really want those things. I know that those things feel really important, but we're here for health. And if you're saying that you're just not working out because the only reason you want to do it is because you want to change your body, just show up to work out and watch your thoughts. The goal is not for you to necessarily be able to control all of your thoughts before you go work out. What you want to do is show up and see, how are you talking to your body? What does motivate you? And while you're in it, being able to focus on what actually feels good. Now, here's what I want to say. In terms of how do we motivate ourselves from a place of love, okay? The way that I think about it is, many of us have had those personal trainers that were awful, that only knew how to motivate us from a place of fear. I've had so many clients that say, I can't go back into a gym and work with a trainer because I was scarred. It was traumatic. Because what a lot of trainers will do is say, if you really want your body, if you really want your bikini body, etc., this is what you got to do. No pain, no gain. If you can do it, you have to do it. You're a lazy piece of shit if you don't. It's just all this fear and scarcity and ego and all those things. Now, when we go to work out ourselves, we very often have this voice that says we need the body, we need the body, we need the body, all of those things, the physical, aesthetics, all that shit. What I will say is that the way I've thought about it in my own head is taking out that voice that is the toxic personal trainer and instead inserting like a coach. Because the way that I think about it, when you're an athlete, you train hard. You push yourself so hard, but not from a place of fear, from a place of love. You want to do better. Your coach is pushing you to your limits, to your potential, to the point where you're uncomfortable, not because you're not good enough if you don't get there, but because they know that if you push and push and push, hi, you are going to be awakened to your own potential. And that was my favorite thing about being a personal trainer. And I would say this all the time. The best thing about my job as a personal trainer is when people did things they thought were impossible, period. It didn't matter to me that it was lifting weight. It just mattered to me that I would show up to a machine with someone and say, you're going to lift this. And they would look at me and say, you're nuts. I'm not that strong. And I would say, just do it. Because one of my favorite quotes is, if you fight for your limitations, you get to keep them. If you're going to sit on every machine and say, I'm not strong enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm not strong enough, you're fucking right. And you're not going to lift shit. But if someone says, sit down on the machine and lift the weight, and then you do, there is something so amazing that happens where you realize that you don't actually know what you're capable of. And you actually have a lot more potential than you thought. And you actually can't listen to your own judgment of your own strength because there's a lot more in there. So the best thing about being a personal trainer was being able to expose people to themselves and say, look at what you can do. And don't you dare sit there in the gym and in your life saying, I'm not strong enough, because you are. And it's a damn shame that you might miss out on everything else life has to offer if you're going to sit there and say, I'm not strong enough. Does this make sense? So to me, when you're in your own head, when you're able to be your own personal trainer, when you're able to talk yourself up, not because you hate what you look like, and this is all about aesthetics, but because you want to see what you're capable of. You want to know what your body can do. You want to expand not just your body's capabilities, but your life. You want to expand the way that you look at yourself, the way you talk to yourself. All of exercise to me is really about fostering that relationship you have with yourself. And if you show up and your first immediate thought, which is all your conditioning that just says, I want to look different, just remind yourself in that moment, yeah, I know. I know that society says this is very important. I know that this is the first thing that's going to come to your mind every single time you go to a gym. I know. And then try to get past that and just say, I hear you. Your body's going to be your body, but what we're really here for is to see what we're capable of. What we're really here for is to push ourselves and become the other voice in our head that is more like a coach than a toxic, scary, abusive trainer. Because when you can use exercise, when you can learn, it's finesse, I think. When you can learn how to push yourself to a place of discomfort, but because you love yourself, not because you hate yourself, then you're fucking flying. Then you have the key to life is, right? Be afraid and do it anyway. Is look at the things that are overwhelming and daunting that you don't think you're good enough to do and then do them. I learned that through exercise. I continue to learn that through exercise. So in some ways, what I'm saying is take out the voice in your head that says you're only here for your body and not even take it out. You're not going to take it out. Listen to it, observe it, and then respond to it and say, I know, but we're going to do a different thing now. And every single time you remember that you're there for your health, just harness it, just embrace it, just embody it and use your focus on how it makes you feel good. And even if it doesn't make you feel good off the bat, I remember when I first started working out, I hated what it felt like. Fair. But how good do you feel that you're forcing yourself to do something uncomfortable for your long-term benefit? There is power that comes with that. And you're not doing it because you hate your body. You're doing it because, guess what? You have the ability to force yourself to do something that doesn't feel very good because you know it's good for you. For me, I like to use the example of taking your kid to the doctor to get a shot. Like, no, it doesn't make them happy. No, it doesn't make them comfortable. Yes, it hurts and no one wants to be there, but it's good for their health. So you're going to do it. You're going to keep showing up. Just because you're uncomfortable and just because you're not feeling happy necessarily, just because you're not comfortable doesn't mean you're beating yourself up. I think a lot of this comes back to the fact that we associate discomfort and pain with being bad, that if we're uncomfortable, we must be coming from a place of fear. No. It's just because society has a serious issue with pain and discomfort, and we try to numb, avoid, distract. But the truth is, when you're using your body to get uncomfortable, to me, the way I interpret that is, look how strong I am. That I'm not shying away from this, that I'm not trying to numb this, that I can sit in discomfort for the sake of health and just keep showing up. No, it's not comfortable when I'm out of breath and I can't fucking breathe. But when I'm on the treadmill and I'm in that moment, I only feel empowered. I only feel empowered. Because if I can force myself to get into that state of discomfort, the state of discomfort you might put me in isn't going to do shit. For me, exercise is so much about not exercising the control over your body. You don't have control over your body, but you have control over your life. And every time I work out and I force myself to get uncomfortable, I see that I'm really capable of doing some powerful shit, because I can withstand something that doesn't feel very good. Exercise for me is deep. Exercise for me is like a spiritual experience. So when we're talking about, I only show up because I want my body to change, it's like, guys, I like you want to forget that you live in a body. You want to forget that your body is a physical, aesthetic thing that other people can see. You want to just totally drop that shit out of your head and like focus on the health of it. And the mental health of it, the relationship with yourself that you get to expose yourself to every time you go work out, and use your body as the mechanism through which you come to understand how you're actually talking to yourself. It's deep. It's deep. Now, there was one other thing I wanted to say about it. And I know as soon as I finish this, I know as soon as I finish this, I'm going to remember what that thought was. But I think overall, you want to remember that whether or not you're able to tell yourself, this is all for health, this is all for health, this is all for health, before you get to the gym, whatever, just show up at the gym and do your best to treat yourself with love and compassion and respect. There are going to be voices in your head that say, your body's going to change, right? You're going to lose weight, right? You're going to get tighter, right? You're going to get toned. You're going to, right? It's going to be there because you are conditioned as a human being in this society to give a fuck about what your body looks like. That's okay. You want to take your power back. You want to show up at the gym and take your power back and say, I hear you. I get that this sounds important. And I get that when I look outside in the world, apparently it's very important. But when I'm here in my workout, one-on-one, looking at me in the mirror, I know that it's fucking bullshit. And I know that I'm here to push myself, to love myself, not because it feels comfortable, but because it feels uncomfortable. And I can force myself into that with love. I had a friend who was talking to me about using love, not fear, as motivation in all things, not just working out. We were talking about building a business. And she said this, and I can't stop thinking about it. It's like a warrior preparing for battle. You're not always fighting because you're afraid. What if you fight for something you love? What if you fight for something that you care about? What if you show up at the gym and you fight for your health? And your mental health? Again, what if you're fighting out of love? And to me, it's just a warrior in battle. Because you're not necessarily afraid, but you know it's going to be hard, and you know it's going to be scary, and you're saying it's worth it. I'm doing it anyway. Does this make sense? So I feel like when it comes to exercise, I have a lot of deep thoughts about it, because I feel like it's an area in my own life where I only started working out to lose weight because I wanted my body to change. And it was through working out I came to understand, nothing will show you the relationship you have with yourself like exercise. Because you're going to get uncomfortable. You're going to feel pain. You shouldn't feel pain. You should feel discomfort, But how you react, how you respond to that is everything. That's where you get to figure out, are you coming from love or fear? is how you react when you get uncomfortable about it. Are you talking yourself through it like your coach? You can do it. I believe in you. Or are you beating yourself up like a toxic trainer? You're never going to get your body if you don't fucking push yourself or whatever. You want to forget that you're living in a physical body. And I don't know, I'm just having a moment about it because it's so important. It's so important. Exercise is such a great place, time and space for you to figure out how to treat yourself with love. Learn how to treat yourself with love. You don't have to go into it necessarily knowing how to do that already, but that is an amazing place for you to actually expose yourself to yourself. So no matter where your mentality is right now, in the beginning, just show up. Just start exercising in any capacity, whether it's getting off the couch and going for a walk, or taking your walk into a jog, or taking your jog into a sprint. Whatever it is, you can push yourself to do more, be stronger, be harder, because it just makes you healthier for the rest of your life. It's just, again, I think in our society, the reason that we're not familiar with this is because the only way we know how to push ourselves to do anything painful or uncomfortable is to say, you have to. It's coming from a place of fear. And we're very unfamiliar with fighting like a warrior in battle from a place of love just because we care about something. So now I'm beating a dead horse because I'm literally saying the same thing over and over again. But this is it, guys. This whole exercising thing, stop thinking about the fact that you live in a physical body. Understand the fact that your physical body is a really good mechanism for you to use to see where your mental's at. How are you talking to yourself? That's the most important thing about exercise. Once you can become your own coach and you can get yourself to do shit you don't want to do because you love yourself, not you hate yourself, your life changes. Use exercise as a way to experience that. That's my take. So, any questions? Anyone? I see some of you are still here. So, I think I'm going to leave it there for now. Oh, hi. I think I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm going to save this video, hopefully. If anyone has any questions, please drop them. But, yeah, I just wanted to say all that about exercise. I think it's so important. This is not the last time you're going to hear me talk about this, but that's what I got for today. So, any other thoughts, any other questions? Also, feel free to DM me, always. I love having these conversations with all of you. And if not, thanks for coming. Thanks for listening. Hi, I love you guys, and I appreciate you. Okay, let's continue the conversation, shall we? We'll, to be continued, ... on this one. Okay, I love you a lot. See ya.